Hello, this is Sam Limo with your Business Spotlight platform. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Tanna Evans. Tanna Evans is going to tell us about Benive, which is a healthy and happy coffee. So, Tanna, it's good to see you today, and I want to hear about your story. Please tell us about your business and also tell us about what inspired you. Talk to our audience.
Good morning. I'm really excited to be here, and thank you. You and Crystal both invited this platform, so I'm excited about it.
Yes.
The business is actually, so this is part of my business. I am a coach, a health and wellness coach that is Unchained Hope Coaching, and we'll get to why it's named that in a little bit.
Okay.
But I came on board with this coffee because I found out that people were needing ways to be healthier in life, and we all want to be healthy. We all want to do stuff, but we're all running around needing more energy and need more focus, and we want to find joy in life.
Yes.
So that's really where this started. And it was actually my brother who found out about this information and got me involved with it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Tanna, I love the name, Healthy Happy Coffee. And so as I drink this coffee today, I really want to know what kind of healthy benefits do we expect from this coffee?
So first of all, a lot of our coffees have mycotoxins in them, which is a mold toxicity, which none of us want to be putting unhealthy molds into our body. It's bad for us overall. So, and this is also dried, not processed, because a lot of people are trying to get away from the processed ingredients in our life. Because processed food is just bad for us overall. We've heard about it. We know it's not good for us because these are dried ingredients and they are all healthy herbs and amino acids that are involved in this, as well as coffee. So we have something called nootropics, which actually helps the brain function better. It makes us think clearer. And when we're thinking clearer, we also helps us balance our cortisol. So we have cortisol in our body. And cortisol is responsible for 7 different systems in our body. The number one is our stress levels. How many of us are all stressed all the time?
A lot of people are stressed. Everything. Some of the audience watching today are stressed about something. So it's the solution. Tell us more.
So great solution. Because our cortisol levels rise or fall depending on how our stress levels are. And we need to have an even way of balancing our cortisol. So this helps us balance our cortisol without having to go get cortisol shots or steroid shots or a lot of things that maybe not be as natural. So we have an option that's a whole lot less, it's not, I would say, healthier and the expense. So we're not repeatedly going to get those over and over again. We have it in, so these are right here are sticks. So they're about this big. And then this is not the coffee. This is the coffee that's in a powder. I mean, they're both powder. So you can throw them in your Keurig and one of those Keurig cups and throw them in and make it. And then it's like regular coffee, but it just gives you more function, focus. It also is an appetite control because when we're stressed, we're either eating too much or not eating enough.
Yes. Wow. You hear that?
So it helps the body overall function. So some of the stuff that we have in here is things like green tea leaf in the coffee as well. So we all know green tea is good for us. We also have some different amino acids because I can't pronounce those names.
That's okay. Hey, we're not medical people, but we at least is making a better communication for our clients to be able to understand what healthy benefits they get from this coffee. And I appreciate so far what you've already said because those managing our stress levels is part of what we need in life to be able to be successful and to be able to pursue the dreams that we have. So that is great information. Anything more you want to tell us about?
So what we like to call this high immediate impact. So within 15 to 20 minutes, you'll feel the impact. How many things do we drink? Like if we drink a cup of coffee, just regular coffee, or we go to run to the gas station and grab one of those energy drinks that may not be as healthy for us. Because there's been all kinds of studies that they have that's just not healthy for our bodies. It raises our blood pressure, it raises our blood sugar, it can cause heart disease. Not good for our bodies at all.
Not good.
So I will say for those who are non-coffee drinkers, there's also a watermelon berry that You don't have to, I mean, if you're not a coffee drinker, I have another option too with the same impact. But it is within 15 to 20 minutes, you'll feel the impact of that. It also has something called thermogenics, which is our metabolism boost. Okay. So it might make you feel a little hot for a few minutes, and then your body is getting rid of all the toxins that we are putting into our body. We're around stuff in our buildings, we're around stuff environmentally. We don't know what we're eating most of the time these days. Okay. If you're like me, which I know is not great, but I'm running around, and sometimes I'll go to the fast food and grab something from fast food. Yes. So what's all the junk that they put in there? We don't know. But this balances that all out.
That is awesome. That's very great information about understanding your health and being able to boost your metabolism and also be able to manage your stress level. So on that note, why should people choose your coffee? How do they have to access it? Or why should they just think about buying coffee from you than just regular going through a drive-through and getting a coffee or Starbucks or anything like that?
So we're going back to the toxins in our coffee. Okay. We don't know what we're drinking. We don't know how it's packaged. We don't know where it's coming from. There's just a lot of unhealthy stuff. Okay. And why not drink something that's going to help our brain, help our mood?
Why not?
Help us overall. I'm a mom of 4. Okay. And my kids have even noticed the difference of, Mom, you're not as stressed out. I mean, we're getting ready for church in the morning and they're like, I drink the coffee. So, especially for busy moms like myself, this is a great way to keep going. I don't know how many of us have to sit in car lines to pick up kids. Okay. Another thing, that's can be stressful too. People who are working as an entrepreneur. I'm going to network events. I'm running around town. This keeps my energy up. For example, I was at church on Sunday. Okay. I helped set up our building. So I'm there at 5. We started at 6 in the morning. I got home and had meetings and different things throughout the day, just different things on a Sunday because that's life. And I had a phone call late until 10 o'clock at night. I was still the same active person from 4 a.m. when I got up to...
Because you had the coffee.
Because I had 2 cups of coffee. 2 cups, that's all.
For my audience, I'm drinking the coffee. I'm starting to feel it. She said 15 minutes, but it looks like for me it's working sooner. But I love the energy. I love the idea of healthy, happy. We all want to be healthy. We all want to be happy. And that's the goal. The goal is to be happy to what you're doing and to be able to have a shot of coffee to be able to give us that boost. That's why we do this interview. So tell us more about your journey. What kind of challenges you faced starting your business? And what more? Tell us more about your journey.
So the journey itself, a few years ago, I started wanting to be more healthy and I wanted to help people. 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with something called chronic inflammation response syndrome. Wow. And that is a biotoxin illness, which means that I was in buildings, started back in high school. I was in a building that had black toxic mold in it. Uh-huh. And I wasn't diagnosed until many years later, because I graduated in 99 in high school. We are now in 24. I wasn't diagnosed until 2013, beginning of 2013, beginning of 2014. Yes. So there's a whole journey that I had many diagnoses that no one ever, we just think you're a mess. We don't know what's going on or it's all in your head. And I'm I'm exhausted. I can't have the energy of what's wrong with me. So I had a friend who was a physician who had done all the research. And he said, I think if we test this and see, it might be a connection. Okay. He's also the physician that treated all of the kids in the same high school from a small town. Okay. So we found out that this building had black mold. Well, black mold's not good for us at all. It's crazy. So in my journey to top this off, there had been trauma, some really intense abuse and trauma that had happened. Okay. Come to find out, and I'm a very spiritual person, yes, so my research has shown that when you have trauma, mold, toxin illnesses will attach to trauma, which is really interesting. I'm very much, from my coaching perspective, body, mind, and soul. I believe we are 3 in 1. Yes. And we have to heal all of it, not just one. Yes, yes. So in my own journey of learning these things and going through some really painful circumstances, and when they diagnosed this, I was like, okay, did some of the diagnosis, did some of the medications, and one of the medications is almost as bad as taking a chemo drug. The side effects are that bad.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that again. I mean, so when we found out again that I'd been exposed to toxic mold, I started doing research, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do this.
Yes.
Again,
yes.
Who does? Who wants to go through that journey again? Yeah. It's hard. It's emotionally draining. It's physically draining. It's mentally draining. And I began to find answers. And I was like, okay, so one of the products we have along with the coffee is called the Power of 3.
Okay.
Which has glutathione in it. That is the number one antioxidant in the world that helps the body among everything else. So, and it actually will help develop and kill the mold toxins in the body and flush them out of the system naturally, not with all of the pharmaceuticals that made me so sick.
Okay.
This is my own, of course, because we are natural, we can't claim that completely. Yes. But from my personal journey, I can say it's helped that.
It has helped you, yes.
It has helped.
Yes.
And then the combination of the coffee itself or the watermelon berry, that combination alone. So in those times and treasure, and I learned what my body could handle. And now I'm looking at, okay, so trauma and the biotoxin illness comes hand in hand. And I'm going, okay, God gave us ways to put things together in a more natural form. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not completely saying the medical world is, we need them too.
Yes.
Because I look at things from the perspective of having a stroke and a heart attack a few years ago. If I had this then, I may not have had, going back to stress, my cortisol levels were off. I was stressed out. But this has actually helped my brain begin to function from having that stroke.
Wow. And you know, and that's the main reason why we do this platform, is be able to know that people turn what happened to them to become an opportunity. And when they found a solution to what they've been going through, they're here to share that story with you. So if you've gone through a similar experience, this is an answer from her own personal story. And that's why, Tanna, we do these stories. I'm very passionate to really hear what somebody has gone through, what inspired them to do what they do, why they are successful in what they do. And the last question is, where do you see your future with this? How much impact do you want to have with this to our audience today?
So there's actually a couple of areas. The impact, I want to see people be healthy. I mean, overall, body, mind, and spirit. Yes. And if we can have our mental health, because I think that's one of the number one things that we're beginning to learn and talk about. Okay. If we can be clearer in our mental health, something that helps, if it's an immediate impact. I mean, you said you're feeling it right away, Sam.
Yes, I am. That's why I'm drinking more of it.
So there's that. And then for me, just knowing, because sometimes we don't know what our bodies are holding. We don't know the toxins. Like I was saying, I'm running around doing networking. I don't know what buildings I'm in. I have to trust that I'm going to be protected. Yes, And then at the same time, well, why not do something to add an extra layer of protection on top of it?
Yes.
And then I was going to also say, my dad, who is 71, is taking all of our products, because we also have some electrolytes, gut health, some other things that all combine together. Okay. My mom says she's acting like a 21-year-old again.
That's good.
So there's no age. I mean, and I give this to my child who is ADHD.
Okay.
And he's calming down and without having to do the extra medications.
Wow.
So I want to have people who are really interested and invested in their health over and not having to deal with side effects of medications or anything in that world, because I discovered something, because I found out I was allergic to a lot of medications, and I'm going, what do I have? I'd rather not be miserable in my home, curled up with a blanket, crying under my bed.
Yeah. Yet we have solutions, and you know, with the power of information that we have out there, it's powerful to have this for you. And so I know that you're selling this. Do you have a website? Do you have a phone number that they can reach you, or how can they buy this stuff from you?
I do. I'm going to give you the website because I can't ever remember it.
Okay, it's all right. And we'll be posting this on this.
Oh, awesome! So, and I will give you the link as well. Yes. So it is Tanna Evans.
Tanna Evans.
.benive.com.
All right.
And that's my direct website.
So Benive is right here. TannaEvans.benive.com. It's that easy. We'll be posting it on our website with part of this interview, and We're so excited to hear about your story. We're so excited to see that you actually want people to have the same impact that you have with this. Mm-hmm. And we wish you all the success. And we do appreciate the moment to have this interview today. What's your last word to our audience today?
My last word is, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
So I think a couple of last words that I'm going to think about here. One of them is, over this past year, there was a word that was really impactful, is to be unshakable.
Okay, be unshakable.
And then to be intentional.
Intentional?
And those two actually go hand in hand, because when we're unshakable and intentional, we find direction.
Amen.
And that is where my last two words.
That's awesome. I wrote a book called Faith, and faith is basically having the belief, to be unshakable, to believe on nothing and to build it into something. So, Tanna, great story, and we appreciate the opportunity to be here today, and we look forward to you sharing the story of what this interview did for your business.
Yes.
Be blessed.